Welcome to the lecture series on NCC subjects. This is lecture number 36 and the topic of today's lecture is national interests and national objectives. So the first part of the lecture we discuss the national interests. Honorable Commanding Officer, respected Associate NCC officers, dear permanent instructors, dear cadets and students. When we think of national interests, we have to understand the fact that every nation with whatever form of government has certain political, social and economic interests and objectives to achieve overall development, prosperity, progress, nationalism and international recognition. To attain such objectives, certain national interests are prerequisites, and we are just going to look at the most important prerequisites required for achieving the overall development and prosperity and progress and nationalism and of course international recognition. So we are just looking at the most important national interests. And when it comes to the most important national interests, we have four national interests. One is sovereignty, the other is integrity, the third is unity, and the fourth is security. So these interests are very, very essential for the development of the nation. No matter whether the country is a democratic country or of course a capitalist country, whichever be the form of the government, a country must have these interests, and we are looking at the national interests of the largest democracy of the world, that is India. We have to understand what each of these interests and terms mean. First, we have to look at sovereignty. Sovereignty means foremost interest of the nation to be autonomous and remain independent. Sovereignty. The country is sovereign. The country is autonomous. And the country is remaining free and independent. No other nation will control a sovereign state. When it comes to any affairs, anything internal or external or agricultural or industrial or commercial or anything, defense or anything, a country should have absolute freedom and independence, and there must not be any external, internal control over the state, and such a country is sovereignty. And our national interest, India wants to be sovereign. India doesn't, we know before independence, of course, we were controlled by the British as well as many other foreign countries. We were a colony which came to our land, the subcontinent. But after independence, okay, we have our own governments, we have our own constitution, and of course we have a constitutional machinery for the center as well as the states. And our republic is one of the best republics, and we are ensuring that the sovereignty, integrity and unity and security of the nation is always very, very, very strong. And this is one of the interests of the country. And now we come to, okay, we need to be sovereign to develop, to have more wealth here, progress here, to of course have international recognition. We look around, we can see a lot of countries being controlled by superpowers, and we do not want to be like that. We won't just surrender our interests to anybody. We will remain sovereign. Now we come to the second interest, that is of course integrity. What do you mean by integrity? The country should be full, indivisible and have a well-defined territory. Okay, India is, we have an idea of India. We know about the borders of India in the north, in the west, in the east, and of course in the south. And we have an India, all right, the India we praise every day in the national anthem, all right. We have in fact the image of India embedded in our hearts, in our minds, in our, of course, everywhere we have India. India, India, India. We are very proud of being an Indian. And integrity is, nation should be full. Our country will always remain what it is. It cannot be just divided. India should be full and it should be indivisible. It cannot be divided anymore. We know what happened in 1947. So no more such painful experiences or incidents of partition or anything of that sort. And we have, of course, a well-defined territory. No neighboring country will encroach into even a cent of our land. And of course, we have to applaud and salute and respect the Indian defense, the Army, Navy and Air Force, especially Army people in the border. They are just securing, safeguarding and protecting the terrain of the subcontinent. And integrity refers to the indivisible condition of the country, that is the India, Hindustan, right? Now we come to the third interest, national interest. So all these interests are for the development of the country, the prosperity, welfare, well-being, happiness and peace of the people of India. And now we come to the third interest of the country, that is India, national interest, that is unity. We always speak about unity in diversity. We have numerous languages, cultures, races, communities, traditions, customs and of course beliefs here in the country. And our country should be just united all the time. Our country, our constitution, the constitution of India is just upholding a number of principles, right? Ours is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. And all these principles of being sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, okay, right, republic, ours is a republic. And the nation should be a secular union of states with political power belonging to a central confederate authority, that is unity. All the different states of India must of course remain committed and obedient to the central government, all right, that is the republic, the federal republic. And with united and undivided cause, without factional, sectarian or fanatical prejudices, everybody, no state should wither away from the center. We will always remain one country. No regionalism, no factionalism, no sectarian point of view or ideology, or no fanatical prejudices, right? So we must be the most developed country in the world, and with that purpose, of course, we are just trying our best to be united, okay? No state will go away, all right? Always remain united, and it should be tolerant towards chaos. The country won't, of course, give any special preferences to any caste, creed or any color, right? So it should be tolerant towards caste, color, creed, religion and language of each other. And we know that we in India have diverse culture. We have, of course, heterogeneous languages. We have, of course, so many customs and conventions and all this has to be preserved. All this has to be preserved. And that's why we say we have unity in diversity. Ours is a synthetic culture. Ours is a composite culture. People from, of course, different parts of the world in the past came to our country, and similarly, of course, anyone can come to our country anytime, settle here, live here peacefully. We respect, of course, each and every language, culture, race, custom and convention. That is being united. All right, and now of course we come to the fourth and the last most important interest of the country, that is of course security. This is very important. Security is, of course, the nation must ensure safety, territorial integrity and protection of the state against external threat or subversion. So there must not be any kind of problem inside. There must not be any problems between different states. There must not be any kind of external aggression like a neighboring country or a foreign country attacking us. And our interest, the national interest, is of course security. Security of the citizens of the country, security of each and every state, security of the very territory. And these are the four most important national interests: sovereignty, integrity, unity, and security. And with this, we come to the end of this lecture. Next lecture, we will be discussing national objectives. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless.